Just be retarded with building muscle and you'll look good. This is a topic that's pretty interesting for me because I'm jacked. I've been going to the gym for consistently for 1.5 years now. I made a big transformation, but I'm also kind of into attractiveness, multidimensional attractiveness. So not just being jacked and good looking, but also being emotionally attractive, charismatic by being romantically attractive, sexually attractive, intellectually attractive. That's what this channel is about, helping young men become multidimensionally attractive because that is like the secret formula for having basically everything that you want in life, including a wonderful, beautiful girlfriend, whatever you're into. That's for example one thing that I got out of being multidimensionally attractive. And I basically got this one study here that this like kind of summarizes this video topic. I'm gonna read the conclusion from this study out loud, and it's about that the drive for muscle, so a higher drive for muscle that then they feel like you want muscle a lot and you really like kind of need it. That drive actually correlated with a lower relationship satisfaction and lower length of the relationship. So the relationship with a partner then, like so a girl, would be less likely to actually last if the guy's ambition for building muscle and like kind of dissatisfaction with, oh, I'm not jacked, I'm not I'm skinny fat, I'm skinny, I'm fat, or whatever, that dissatisfaction and the drive to just be muscular is negatively impacting the relationship. And this is the conclusion I'll read for you right now. So, the research indicates that men with a stronger, more obsessive drive for muscularity tend to have a shorter, less stable, or no romantic relationships compared to those with lower, more moderate levels of concern about their physique. And this is really interesting for me because I myself ran into this kind of issue with my girlfriend. She was just over a couple of a week ago here, and we discussed, or she brought up that this whole drive for muscle and ambition had kind of you know, got into her a little bit because I've been really passionate about the gym and building muscle and self improvement overall. That's kind of why I'm doing this, sharing my, tips and knowledge and just talking on videos like this to guys that are watching this because I want to help. Because I've helped myself. I've helped younger me build kind of a physique that's really nice, right? But overall, in the last month, since I've been really dialed in with my training and diet and stuff, and that's kind of affecting her because she's not that into the gym. Like she's not a person that wouldn't move or exercise or go on walks or stuff. She does do that, but she isn't a gym girl, right? And it kind of conflicts with the relationships because of how the drive for muscle, which isn't actually what you want, which I'll discuss by the way, bro. But that drive actually gives you some side effects in your personality, so you're actually becoming really one dimensional. And that's not what we want, right? That's like the Looksmaxers, the black pillars, the ones that are like hammering their jaw just to have the perfect jawline and trying all these Looksmaxing methods, or the gym cells that just go to the gym and they don't care about anything else. They just want to get jacked, so they take peptides and synthetic shit. They eat like shit. They eat processed foods and oat meals and stuff like that with protein powder just because they want to get jacked, but they're really just one dimensional. They can't talk to a girl, they can't hold a conversation, they're not funny, and none of that, right? So I want you to ask yourself, because if you're watching this, you're a young guy, you're interested in looking better, and for you, maybe that's, oh, building muscle, getting lean, and maybe some looks maxing shit with your face that isn't really the truth. But anyway, I want you to, you know, ask yourself this: is it really muscle, the physique you want, or is it a byproduct of wanting something else, something that's will regulate your emotions. Because if you're in a emotional state where you're not sure about yourself, you're not sure about how your attractiveness, you're not confident in yourself at a high level, well, you're obviously going to try to solve these internal problems. So that's dissatisfaction you have inside yourself. You're going to try to solve these problems outside of yourself, bro. You're going to look for stuff. Especially young guys or men does this. And I heard that from a psychiatrist named Dr. K on YouTube. He's quite popular. He said that men tend to solve, emotional problems or the big problems in life with just, outside solutions. So they look outside of them. Can they make more money? Can they get this position? Can they, get this hookup? Can they build the muscle? Can they get leaner, more attractive? All these things aren't you, though, right? You are not your ambitions. You are not, the number which you make per month in terms of income, right? You're not your grade in school. You're not your physique. I'm not this physique. And I've put some time, effort, hard training into this. But that's still nothing about who I am on the inside, right? So I really, really figure out if you want muscle because, yeah, you're trying to go pro in bodybuilding, you're trying to do bodybuilding competitions, and that's a passion for you, which, sure, then you're expected to have a pretty high drive for muscle because you're competing with the best of the best. But if you're not going to be a competitive bodybuilder, which then probably also gonna lead you on the route to taking, supplements. If you're not that, well, then you're better off actually not, I'm not going to tell you to, live the balanced lifestyle. Just go to the gym 2 times per week. I go to the gym 6 times per week because I still love the gym. I told my girlfriend that, right? I'm not going to push anything onto her, project anything onto her that, yeah, hey, you need to work out, you need to do this. But I love going to the gym intrinsically, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting here. Is your motivation in the drive for going to gym coming from inside, intrinsic, like passion, or is it something that it's outside? You're just focused on the exterior results. You want to just get jacked so that then you'll get loved, you'll never get your heart broken or something. Because I was kind of like that, but with looks and Looksmaxing, right? Before, a year ago and 2 years ago, like, I was just not happy with my dating life because I was a virgin at 18. I had no experience with girls whatsoever. No kiss, no hug, nothing like that. And I really wanted that because it's normal to have that, right? I didn't want to be kicked out of the tribe or seen as, what is this, incel? Like, the incel is literally involuntary celibate, kind of like that. That's what this stands for. And I obviously didn't want to be looked at as that. So I tried to looks max my way into being so attractive that no girl would be able to reject me. That I would be so, handsome that girls would approach me, which they never do, by the way. Like, even like good looking guys, they don't get approached, like, barely at all by girls. But I wanted that reality because I was kind of broken on the inside, right? I wanted to search for something outside of myself. So I tried the looks maxing techniques and almost going like that black pill route. And it's not good. It's like over focused. You're over focusing on the wrong things, right? Because there's something inside of you that you need to fix first. Then that shit will come to you. Good looks will come to you. The girl will come to you. Muscle will come to you. Money will come to you when you fix your mindset and your beliefs first. So it's kind of this analogy of the more you want it, the more it will run away from you. So get this, galera. Think of a middle-aged or young woman in the United States working 2 or 3 jobs just to provide for her 2 kids, and the baby daddy, he left, so he's not in the picture anymore. He's a fucking, piece of shit. So he left that shit. And then this single mom is supposed to raise her children, and she must take 2, 3 jobs, have jobs on the sides just to make the ends meet, just to have food on the table for children and for herself, and she maybe barely eats. So her drive, her ambition for money could be said is very high. She's very ambitious and has a huge drive for money because she's taking on 3 jobs at the same time. When one of her shifts end at like McDonald's, she's over to the next like Walmart store and working a shift there. And then she's doing like some night shift in a hospital. She's doing all these jobs because she wants to provide. Her ambition and drive for money is super high. But is she making a lot of money? Is the money coming to her? She's running after money, right? But is the money coming to her? Barely. She's barely making ends meet. She's not, she doesn't, she can't afford the things in life that you would want as a mother, for your children, for yourself, for your family. She can't go on nice vacations. She can't do any of that because she's focused on having the drive and, forcing that drive out of her because she thinks she doesn't have any options. And maybe that's, true. That's an unfortunate situation, but she's forcing the drive. She's forcing it. She's needy for that money. She's desperate for it, and it won't come to her. So it's the same with young guys, us. We have a lot of ambitions, right? We want to build the muscle so we'll finally get the respect, take up some more space, right? And get girls and everything that comes with building muscle. We want to fit in our shirts better. We want to just be better. But you're not any better because you have a higher drive. You're not the guy that works more, even if he makes more money. He isn't necessarily better because let's say a guy is working 12 hours a day in some sales job, but another guy, like an online entrepreneur doing this business model where you like talk on the internet, you're a content creator and you sell something and stuff like that. If he works 2 hours a day and he makes close to the amount that the salesperson is doing, he's living a much better life. So you don't want to actually force the drive to be that, you don't want to max out your drive because then it's not going to come to you. You kind of need to take the distance from it. You're not a slave. You don't need to, use every cell in your body to think, oh, muscle, 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 muscle. Because then you'll fuck up everything else in your life. You won't have a partner, or if you do have a girlfriend, it will be is a similar situation to me, but probably end worse because if you're not at a point where you have muscle, I understand you because I were at that point, one point at a time. But you still need to be patient. It's a journey. It's about the journey, even not the destination. And I know that's cliche, but that's how it is. You need to just be retarded with this. You need to dumb down. You're too smart right now, overthinking that. Oh, I need to get muscle right now because it will increase my attractiveness and this and this and that. If you're gonna focus on one thing, because I do think you want to improve yourself, right? And I do think that's super healthy. Will become multidimensionally attractive. I know I'm pushing that because, yeah, that's what my channel is about. But it's the highest return of investment you can make because, yeah, you maybe know the halo effect, which is that more attractive people get more out of life because other people just perceive them as better, or they perceive them as having skills that they haven't even proven yet. So your life is easier as an attractive person, but that doesn't come with just looking attractive. Sure, some benefits come with that, but you're not going to be fulfilled just because people kind of glare at you in public and say, "Oh, that guy is pretty good looking," or like they give you some extra shit in the restaurant because you're so good looking. That isn't really like special. If you want to be fulfilled, you want to be multidimensionally attractive. So then there's other like girls. If you're a man watching this, there will be a girl that's also like kind of multidimensionally attractive, and she will be very attracted to you based on different things: the aesthetic attractiveness, how you actually look and present yourself, not just the face but with your style and with your facial hair, and how lean you are will probably help more than any goddamn looksmaxing technique. And your physical appearance, your physical attractiveness, not just your physique and muscle, but have you thought about that it's the way you stand, it's your body language, the way you communicate with your body. That's also like 90% of communication right there, the body language, right? And also how you breathe, your performative health markers, because we are animals in the end of the day, so we do look at how healthy does this person look. That's physical attractiveness, not just muscle or even body fat percentage. Then you got your sexual attractiveness. So how good are you in bed, and do you have a good sexual health, and are you masculine? That's your masculine polarity. Can you polarize a feminine woman by being in your masculine, right? And do you have a kind of seduction to you? Can you seduce a woman to escalate from just being the nice boy taking her out on a date to actually kind of dominating? Then you can be romantically attractive. You can have charisma. You can have social skills so that you can hold a conversation, so you can be an interesting person and, you know, be an experience. You want to kind of create a movie in a girl's world, right? In her head. So she'll actually remember you. And are you emotionally attractive? So when you do attract this girl through all of the other ones, can you actually understand her on a deeper level so you can actually emotionally share experiences together? Because that's the fundamental of attachment. So when you attach to someone, so that's what happens like after you're in love. So you fall for someone, you don't really fall for someone, but since you're both want each other, you kind of fall in love, and then you attach to each other because there's some emotional shared experience that you both have. You both feel the same way about each other because you're so connected emotionally. You go out and have these emotionally attractive moments, and you show that in your personality as well, because you're not just this masculine shadow ooga 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 fucking caveman. You're actually a confident and competent man that can show emotional sides of him and like vulnerability, not be venting wimp, a bitch that just is a little boy. You don't want the little boy and mommy relationship. You want to be like the daddy figure, right? But you also want to be emotionally intelligent. Then the intellectual attractiveness, that's the last one. Well, you want to be a competent man, not just in your emotional intelligence, but also in your regular intelligence. You want to have something about you where you're knowledgeable, right? Where you can actually provide in a certain, not just with money. It's more about how you make her feel. But to do that, you have to have an intellectual type of attractiveness to you. You're reading books, you're always learning, so you can iterate and improve, right? That's attractive. So I want to go back to this belief that, yeah, um, the negative belief that the drive for muscle is all that matters because you want to get jacked, you want this, you want these results. That's not bad. I'm not discouraging against getting jacked. I love being, I'm not jacked yet, but I love having a good physique, of course, and I love improving it. I love going to the gym. I love getting jacked, and I think that's an important goal for me that I'll never quit. I'll be the jacked fucking grandpa in like 60 years, right? But the thing is that you have to understand yourself first. Your core bad behavior is probably overthinking. It's probably some type of insecurity, and maybe even comparison online on social media, because you see all these other guys and maybe influencers taking shit, steroids and shit, and then you compare yourself to them when their drive is actually astronomically high, because they don't just want to get jacked to get their rewards from whatever. They also want to make money from being jacked. That's their whole business shit. They just post content and get likes and stuff, but inside maybe they're not that fulfilled because they're probably pretty one-dimensional, right? You want to be multidimensionally attractive, right? You want to join me and what this channel is about. Then you know that you're bigger than that. You don't need to chase the muscle. You know that the muscle will come to you when you don't want it that much. It's like in dating. When you don't want the girl, she'll come to you. Sure, you haven't attracted, you're sexually attracted, you're attracted to this girl, but you're not needy for her. You don't need her. So she'll come to you because there's something different about you than 90% of other guys, let's call them wimps, that just, they fiend over girls. They're on dating apps swiping left and right for hours a day, and they're barely getting matches because they're needy. They need women's approval. They need a girl in their life, or they feel like they're not complete. You have to be complete first, and then girls will want to join your life. But you'll say no to some girls because they're low quality, and you'll find a high quality girl. That's what I did, and I'm happy as fuck with that. So the answer is get jacked, but take some steps away from wanting it so much. Don't look at social media content of guys jacked, like bodybuilders or fitness influencers, or the standards that are portrayed online. Your online image is just such a narrow kind of tunnel of what the world actually is. Imagine the world is like this whole room of possibilities, of opinions, of average people. Like, average people don't look that good. Like, you go to a beach in fucking Germany and you just see like people that are average looking. Like, people are average looking. Social media, though, they show you a different picture. Social media show you that in order to be average looking, you have to have a physique like this. No, this is ambitious. This is good. This is a good physique. And you'll get that when you take away your need for it. You're not going to need it anymore. You're just going to get jacked by showing up consistently to the gym, taking care of your diet, but not letting it negatively affect stuff like your relationship, or stuff like your happiness and fulfillment, stuff like your ambitions in life and your hobbies and your family relationships, because those things are really more important to you. They are. You just don't realize it because you're comfortable with them. You're comfortable with your family always being there. If you live at home, you're comfortable with your mom cooking a meal for you. But imagine if all of those things, and your hometown, your family house or whatever. Imagine if all of those things were taken away from you. You would feel terrible. You wouldn't be happy that. But yeah, I'm jacked though. I'm jacked, bro. I'm jacked. Like, you wouldn't be happy with your physique, because it's real. At the end of the day, it's just a proof that you've put in hard work, and you like yourself. You care about your how you present yourself, and your ambition. You're ambitious with that, but it's not a multidimensional thing. It never will be. It's one dimensional. So focus on it, but also spread your focus to other things. That's it for this video, and yeah, please engage with this video. So click on the like button, comment if you have any questions or ideas or opinions about this. Subscribe if you want to join me on this journey to becoming more multidimensionally attractive. And yeah, there will be more videos on a bunch of different topics in attractiveness. And also, I actually have a link in the description. So below this video, you'll see a link that's for Calendly. So you can click that link and book a free, totally free call with me. You can basically go on a call with me where I'll just answer questions for free. I'll just talk to you for free. You can talk to me. You can ask any question, and I'll try to answer it with the best answer I can, because I care about helping you guys and helping guys in general become more multidimensionally attractive. I think it's really fun, and I think it's really important that we do this and not just focus on smashing our bones with a hammer or doing any other type of looksmaxing that's really just a cover up for insecurities and stuff. So click on that link and book a totally free call, no cost. I'm not going to try to sell you anything in the call or something, no coaching or nothing like that. Just a free call to, get my help. And I'll see you in another video too. So goodbye.